This next segment will focus on how you can use the resources featured in the tab Informational Interview. The first box has information about the Occupational Outlook Handbook, an important tool for career exploration which is published by the United States Department of Labor free of charge. You can use the Occupational Outlook Handbook to find out information about a particular profession or field. The Occupational Outlook Handbook tells you the training and education needed, earnings, what workers do on the job, working conditions, related professions, and more. You can also see what possibilities exist for your major. You can look at this online, free of charge, at www.bls.gov/OCO. Let's go to the site now and take a look at how we can do some searches. You can search the Occupational Outlook Handbook by using the search box on the left-hand side of the screen. The way you search it is, you can try typing in the type of the job you want. If that doesn't work, you can think of the type of service you want to provide or the industry or sector you want to work in and type that in. One tip is to keep your search simple. Maybe just one word from your major, such as consumer or financial, or your dream job, such as budget analyst. Let's do a sample search with financial. We see here a list of search results where the word financial appears. Let's take a look at financial analysts. Up at the top, you have hot links to specific sections of the information that's given about this job. We can click on any one of these links and go directly to that section. The first part of the page has significant points. So we see that financial analyst positions require a bachelor's or master's degree, and they also tend to earn high wages. Next, we have some information about the nature of the work, what they do, and perhaps some types of places where they might work. You can also get ideas for jobs here, such as something like a fund manager or portfolio manager. We see they usually work in offices under work environment. Scrolling down, we find information on training, other qualifications, and advancement. This tells you the education and training you need, as well as any licensures or certification you need to get a specific job. Next, we have breakdown on employment numbers and the job outlook, and according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the employment of financial analysts is expected to grow much faster than average. Some information on earnings. I will point out that this information tends to be dated. It takes the federal government a long time to compile statistics, so you might want to take this information with a grain of salt and consult a professional association about what potential earnings can be. Below earnings, we have a very helpful section called Related Occupations. This lists some other types of jobs that require expertise in finance and investment. So we have things such as accountants and auditors, budget analysts, financial managers, personal financial advisors. And if we click on one of the types of jobs here, we'll go directly to budget analysts. You'll see that the information on the page is exactly the same layout and type of information that we saw with financial analyst. So those work the same way. Going back to the page for financial analyst, we go down here to sources of additional information, and these can be very helpful links. For example, for general information on security industry employment, you might want to contact the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, and they give you a link to the website right here. For further information on financial analyst careers and training, you can contact the American Academy of Financial Management. Again, these can be very helpful links for you to review, and the Occupational Outlook Handbook provides this for numerous jobs and careers. Let's move on to the next section of the informational interview page, which is ONET. ONET Online is another tool for career exploration and job analysis offered by the United States Department of Labor. ONET Online has detailed descriptions of the world of work for use by job seekers. It is also free of charge and available at www.onetonline.org. Let's go directly to the site to see how we can best search this. The best way to use this tool is to use the Find Occupations option. The best way to search from this page is to use the keyword search. Using one or two words works very well. You can also search by career cluster or industries, but these categories can be very broad, so some patience is required. So let's take a look and do a sample search using the word consumer this time. And let's take a look at the job Public Relations Specialist, which is mentioned as a potential profession for people specializing in consumer affairs. We see a good overview and some sample job titles for public relations specialists. At the top here we have tasks, things that you can be expected to do on the job. Various tools and technologies that you might be expected to use in this occupation. Knowledge that you're expected to have, and below that you have some skills, abilities you should have on the job, and then we have some sample work activities such as communicating with persons outside the organization, updating and using relevant knowledge, and thinking creatively. Work context, such as how often will you use electronic mail or how much time will you be required sitting. Something called the job zone. The type of education that's required for this type of position. Interests. Work styles for a public relations specialist. Work values. Related occupations, so you see here we have market research analyst and advertising sales agent, and if we go to market research analysts, the outlay of the page is exactly the same as the public relations specialist. Going back, they have wage and employment trends, as well as links to state and national information, so we could potentially go to the state of Alabama here. And sources of additional information from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This takes us back to the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Let's move on now to the third part of the page. The last part of this page is information about finding out about your professional associations. Professional associations are a valuable source for what's happening in your profession, job leads, possible salary information, contacts, and just what's going on. Most professions have at least some sort of associations, often more than one. You want to check and see if your profession has an association, what the website is, and what type of information that website has. And to do this, we go to the database Associations Unlimited, and we want to click on the association name or acronym search. And before we start searching, we want to find only national level associations. We're going to uncheck international and uncheck regional, state, or local. And I'm just going to type in again one word from my major, and that's going to be consumer, and go to the search button, and we get a list of associations that have possibly something to do with consumer sciences or consumer affairs or something to do with consumers. Let's take a look at the first link here, American Association of Family and Consumer Sciences. We get a brief description here, but what we really want is the website. So we'll click on the link here, and you can see that there's all types of information for People and Family and Consumer Sciences. We have something for members, a link for students, things about the media, about us, membership, credentialing center, various resources, etc. So there's a whole lot of information on this page which it might benefit you to at least familiarize yourself with what's on here. If we just go directly to the students, you can see that they talk about joining, benefits, and here's a student link here again, and they talk about student unit advisors, regional assignments, they have a Facebook page, and different types of things. So that's an example of one association. Let's go to another one. Let's try the American Council on Consumer Interests. And again, what we want is the website. And this page is very different, but here's one where they have a link for jobs. Not all associations will have a job board, so if you don't find an association website with a job board, keep looking as we did with this example using the word consumer. And as you can see from this list, we have 56 possibilities to choose from, and there are a small list of associations listed on the CSM 462 web guide. Let's go back and do a search with financial. And again, we have a lot of results here. Let's go to the Association for Financial Professionals and find that URL for the website. And we have a lot of different information here. Information about getting certified. We have topics A to Z, various conferences and events. Very important, global careers, so a career coach, career fitness, profile development, articles, and just information for job seekers. So you can see from these examples here that professional associations are a very, very important resource for you to explore. Take a look at one or more associations that you can find using the database Associations Unlimited. This concludes the overview of the tab Informational Interview. Please explore the resources here and use what you learn if you have an interview. If you have any questions about this site, please feel free to contact me at pmorgan@ua.edu.